Hello and welcome to Ohio Films. We're going to London Film Festival this October. We're super excited. The programme launched today and we thought we'd tell you a little bit about the films we want to see, the films we're looking forward to. Ohio Films goes to LFF. I'm Cameron, and for the first time ever, Jordi Steele will be joining me down in old London town. And we thought we would tell you about the films we're looking forward to the most. There are some absolute bangers for this film festival, even considering the fact that we are in the midst of a pandemic. So, yeah, releases are on schedule. It's all good. It's fine. Jordi, please tell me about a film you're excited to see.
Well, my first film is one that we might be able to see on our first day down as soon as we get down, and that is Spencer. It is directed by Pablo Larraín, who did Jackie, and it's the film starring Kristen Stewart as Princess Diane. She's getting a lot of praise currently for her performance because it just had its premiere at Venice.
Yes, Venice Film Festival.
And
our friend of the show, Awace, saw it and said it was incredible, which made me even more excited.
Yes, so that would be quite good to see.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Jackie.
Have you not seen? Oh, you need to get that watched.
It got a lot of like Oscar nominations, didn't it?
Yeah, I think so. It had a lot of buzz around it. I don't think it performed as well at the Oscars as it was hoping to, but I think this might be the one that changes. I think this is going to be the one that sort of fires in at the Oscars because
it won Best Costume, didn't it?
I think something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Natalie Portman deserved a lot more praise for that. I think she was up against Emma Stone though. I think for La La Land, so it was a tough competition. It really was a tough competition that year. I mean, for me though, I'm one of the ones. I think we've been waiting for over a year for it now. The French Dispatch. I think for me is one of the ones to watch. It's coming out so close to the film festival that it almost feels kind of redundant being there, but at the same time, I'm happy to see it there. You know what I mean? Like it comes out on October 22nd in the UK and around the world. It's showing there on the 9th or something. So it's not a massive preview, but it's still nice to be and see it in a festival atmosphere. You know what I mean? It's a Wes Anderson movie, so you're going to be with your people when you've seen a Wes Anderson movie at a film festival. That's, you know what I mean? You're going to be with the people. Yeah, I mean, anticipation's high for this. I think another Oscar-worthy one, I think, for him in this one, similar to the way Grand Budapest went down. You know, I don't think Isle of Dogs, it's an animation, so it kind of got left out, but I think this one's going to be, at least for cinematography, maybe production design, stuff like that. I think this is one I'm looking forward to seeing, just for the buzz.
Yeah, it's a shame. It's been so long since this film was supposed to come out that he's already started working on his next film.
Yeah.
So this one sadly feels like it has been sort of almost brushed under the rug, because it was delayed. It wasn't really delayed so many times. It was delayed indefinitely, and then now it's getting its release. Luckily. Mm-hmm. But yeah, looking forward to it. Great ensemble cast. If Oscars did ensemble casts awards, then this could be in the running. In line for,
I think Screen Actors Guild to do ensemble, so I think definitely in line for something like that. You know what I mean? Definitely in for it. There's enough star power there to will it some kind of award for that.
Yeah. Moving on to my second one. Now, this is going to be a bit controversial here. Because my second one is The Souvenir Part 2. Now, Cameron famously hates the first Souvenir. And I was very disappointed because I really like Joanna Hogg's film Archipelago, which stars Tom Hiddleston. And it was one of the first films I watched that I went, oh, maybe I can be one of those people that really like films where just nothing happens. Because I just found it very peaceful and quite great. And then I watched The Souvenir and I was excited for it, even after hearing like your thoughts on it, because you had seen it at a festival. So I saw it and then I was disappointed because it was quite boring. But I still have faith in Joanna for part 2. Please don't let me down. But
it has every right. It could be good. We don't know. But I will never forget the reaction of the entire, I think it was 4 of us. It was Awace, me, I don't know if Laura was there, James was there. It was just the unanimous reaction of, this is pish. and we were just sitting here for 2 hours trying to like suffer through this at a press screening. It was Edinburgh 2019 or something. It was just a show. I couldn't stand it, which makes me less excited. But I know some people who love The Souvenir. It's a Marmite film. I know some people that absolutely adore The Souvenir. So
right,
you never know. Will Richard Ayoade be back? Who knows?
Yeah, he is back.
Is he back?
Which
good.
I'm worried about. Yeah, because he was just horrible. Yeah.
Last Night in Soho. I mean, that's making a surprise appearance. I thought they'd just leave that out because Edgar Wright's getting a BFI season later on in the month. And it's just so close to release, like The French Dispatch. But it's one I am so excited to see. I mean, like, Thomasin McKenzie, Andy Taylor-Joy, Edgar Wright. Do you know what I mean? You're hitting all three of the bases for me. You know what I mean? This is what I'm very excited to see. The aesthetic that seems to be promised from this movie. I've not seen a lot of the trailers. I've only really seen stills and stuff. Like, I've not seen a lot of footage of this movie. I kind of stayed away from all that. So I'm really excited to go in blind and just be.
All right.
You know, I know it's horror-ish, isn't it? Something like that. And I'm looking forward to that because Edgar, everything he touches turns to gold. I don't think I've seen it. The World's End, possibly, but I mean, I don't think I've seen a bad film from him. What's next for you, though, Jordi? What are you thinking?
My next film is a film called The Power of the Dog, and it's directed by Jane Campion, who did The Piano, and it basically is about Benedict Cumberbatch plays a rancher, and the owner of a rancher, and his brother played by Jesse Plemons.
Love Jesse Plemons.
He and his wife come, and then basically it's all about the relationship between Benedict Cumberbatch and Jesse Plemons, and Benedict Cumberbatch is a bit of a dick, and he is like becomes a bad influence on Jesse Plemons.
This is one of the ones that also was at Venice, so I know some people that have seen this and who did enjoy it. I mean, this is... I've not seen a lot about it, you know? I've not seen a lot about it. But yeah, no, it looks interesting. That's the thing about film festivals is I try to stay away from as much as I can about movies, other than some of the big names. I know some of the big names are going to see that, but you have to remember at film festivals is all about discovery. I feel it's going to see something you've not got really any interest in or any hype for. It's about seeing something. I know when we come back in about a month and a bit's time, when we do our like recap basically of like favorite films at the film festival, we will be talking about different movies than we are talking about here. I guarantee it, because we'll see something that we're like, I did not expect to love that. I did not expect to even hear from that, and here we are talking about it. But yeah, that's one of the beauty of the film festival is seeing something you had no interest in before, and that's why I'd love to just go and see something, buy a ticket, and just go and have a good time. Red Rocket. You can't go wrong about Red Rocket, and that's Sean Baker's new one. I'm a big Sean Baker fan. This is basically just Cameron's favorite filmmakers and favorite actors list right now. I've never seen a program more catered to my taste in film in a very long time. Red Rocket is another one of his just sort of he focuses on real people. You know what I mean? He focuses on character more than anything else. It's about a washed-up porn star who returns to his hometown, and people have some thoughts about it. You know what I mean? People aren't really pleased to see him. Will we get some award buzz for this? I don't think there's any massive names in this. I mean, Simon Rex is a character is in this. He is known for his roles in Scary Movie 3, 4, and 5. Yes. Jordi, what else are you looking forward to at London Film Festival 2021?
And my next film is called Bergman Island. It stars Mia Wasikowska and Tim Roth as a couple who are screenwriters, and they go to the island that inspired Ingmar Bergman films.
Oh wow!
And as the sort of film goes on, it sort of gets more. It gets weirder, and it's like all of the line between reality and fiction are drawn, and it gets all very Ingmar Bergman-y. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. That's one that I have not really heard anyone talk about, but it's been on my like keep an eye out on this list for a couple years now. So yeah, that should be
interesting.
Interesting, yeah.
Interesting, yes. I think I'll go for Sundown for my next one. That's the Michael Franco film. Tim Roth stars in it. It's about a man who tries to abandon his family on a holiday. Just fucks off. I don't know an awful lot about it. I'm sort of more going on this for Tim Roth's really the guy that drew my eyes to this. He picks some interesting stuff. You know what I mean? He's always doing some bit more interesting, a bit more out there. Yeah, it's just nice to. It seems like a kind of cool concept. I don't know. It just seems like it could be quite interesting. I can't say there's much behind this hype other than Tim Roth's name, but I think some of the buzz outside of Out of Venice was quite good. So that's another promising thing for it.
Right.
You know.
What kind of? I take it as a comedy.
I don't think so. No, it's a.
It's not.
It's a drama. Yeah, it's definitely a drama. They're gonna play that hard. They're playing that man leaving his family quite dramatically.
All right. My next film is an anime film called Belle.
Get out of the way.
Belle. The full name is Belle, the Dragon and the Fretted Princess, but they didn't include that in the brochure. It's directed by Mamoru Hosoda, who did films like The Boy and the Beast and Summer Wars, which are great. And this one is very much like Summer Wars, which is about sort of like a Ready Player One-ish virtual reality sort of world. But in this one, it is about a girl who is a sort of pop star in that world. So I think it's going to be sort of like a net, but in a virtual reality world. And the other guy plays I forget like what he does, but his avatar is like a dragon man. But he does do something. But yeah, I'm very excited to.
He does something. It's fine.
He does
a lot
something.
of it. He did something.
If I don't know about it, then it makes finding out more exciting when watching the film.
Exactly. That's one way to look at it. Speaking of not knowing much about it, Belfast, Kenneth Branagh's new one. It has a release date in the UK of November 12th, and it hits. It's midway through the festival for London. It's set in 1960s Belfast, so you can imagine the kind of setting we'll be at for this. You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about, Jordi? You know what I'm talking about? So yeah, that'll be quite interesting. Kenneth Branagh is from Northern Ireland, which is something I wasn't overly aware of, considering I think most of the things I've seen him in, he has an extremely English accent. So, you know, that's something. It's going to be an interesting one. I think I saw some people describe it as sort of Northern Ireland's answer to Roma. In some respects. So that'll be interesting because it is black. It's shot in black and white. I don't know like an awful lot about it other than the trailer looks quite unique, and it could be some stuff. And Judi Dench is in it again. Judi Dench is in it. Yeah. Judi Dench and Branagh back at it together.
Jamie Dornan.
Yep, Jamie Dornan. Big old fucking lead in that one. Good. You're keeping me on my toes there because I had completely forgotten. Everyone was
I think I'm a honeybee.
Fucking Wild Mountain Time. Yeah, that's his last performance. So this hopefully should redeem him.
My next film is Titan or however you pronounce it. It's French. And
it's French for titanium. Just
to
let you know.
It's written and directed by Julia Ducournau.
I have not seen it. I'm just imagining with a French accent. But Julia Ducournau.
Julia Ducournau. But she did Raw, which was a great film and very messed up. So I'm looking forward to this film, which is about it's very. We keep reading different synopsises, and it's very mysterious, which is great. But it seems to be, it's just about it explores gender fluidity to the backdrop of murder and crime and violence and yes.
My synopsis was a woman had sex with a car. So I don't know where we're at
Yes.
with this.
Exactly. Yeah. And the only pictures I've seen are people with like neck braces on. So
yeah, it looks really interesting. Body horror.
Who
so
knows what
you're gonna
happens.
be. I'm gonna be head in my hands, like, for a lot of it, because I am the most squeamish person on the entire planet.
Did you see Raw at a festival?
No, I saw Raw on Blu-ray. I think it was at LFF the year I went for. You remember the weekend I went to go and see Beautiful Boy and stuff? I think it was that weekend. It was at LFF, that festival, but I just never had a chance to go and see it. I mean, one I'm not overly excited for, but it could be quite interesting to see where this sort of lands later on, because I do like to tie everything back to sort of, like, festivals are a great sort of jumping off point for a lot of these Oscar campaigns and stuff like that. Holiday Falls, the new Western film that stars Idris Elba, it's coming to Netflix in November. That's the opening gala, and that will be quite interesting to see where Idris Elba sort of maybe has a contention for, maybe, I don't know if he's leading or supporting in this, but maybe at least some kind of award recognition.
I think he's the main bad guy.
So
it's Jonathan Majors is the main hero.
Maybe even
boy.
Jonathan Majors. Then I've only seen really posters with Idris Elba on them, but that's interesting. Maybe Jonathan Majors in for something.
It's another one that, like, on Ensemble Cast Award maybe, because it's got Zazie Beetz, Lakeith, Regina King. It's got a whole load of people.
It looks like a refreshing take on a Western, that's for sure. You know, I mean, that kind of cast and that kind of power on screen, especially someone like Jonathan Majors, who've absolutely shown in Last Black Man in San Francisco, and in that last episode of Loki. There, that was. I mean, he is one to watch.
Yeah.
So, that's Holiday Fall.
My last film is a film called Language Lessons, which I didn't really know about until reading about it in the schedule release. But it's a comedy that was filmed during isolation, and it stars Mark Duplass and Natalie Morales, and it's directed by Natalie Morales as a Spanish teacher and her student over video calls. I think they don't mention the pandemic at all, but you know, it's all about people's lives. Yeah, and then something happens, and it's like that. But that'll be interesting to see how they do. Yeah,
I mean, it's such an interesting lineup. There's lots of stuff there I'm really excited for. Obviously, got to throw out the surprise film before, because that's always ones you want to get. That's the hottest ticket in town that night. That's going to be there's a lot there that could have been a surprise film. I was thinking if King Richard wasn't on the brochure, which is the Will Smith playing Serena and Venus Williams' dad, that would have been a surprise film. But it could be anything. But what are you looking forward to? Is there anything standouts that we've not mentioned here that we should have mentioned? What should we be seeing when we're down there? Please let us know in the comments below. While you're here, if you could subscribe to the YouTube channel, that'd be amazing. Hit a like on the video or on the Facebook page. You can follow me on Twitter at CamzoOG. Jordi is Real Jordi Steele. The whole establishment we're working for right now, Ojai Films, is at Ojai Films on Twitter, and ohaifilms.com, where you can see the rest of what we do. We've got reviews coming out for the rest of the week as well, which is exciting. So, follow us and see what we're doing there. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.